So this isn't looking too good for YouTube. If you watch YouTube Rewind, or if you've never heard of it, basically it's something they do every year. They do this big video, like big production quality, where they get all the major content creators on YouTube, kind of like a celebration of the community itself, and they have some kind of like music video kind of collaboration. That's overall like it's just a reflection of the year. And I remember watching the 2012, like 2013 ones, and that was back when, like, when I was that age, much younger. Most of what I watched was on YouTube, and at least I recognized a lot of the people on there. Whether I watched them or not, I kind of at least knew who they were. And I thought it was kind of neat thing. Like, it was neat to see all these people in one video. It was really cool. But then over the years, like 2015, 2016, 2017, things started to go downhill. And now with 2018, as we can see if I scroll down, YouTube Rewind 2018 is now the most disliked video on YouTube of all time. Now, this does not factor in likes. It only factors in just how many dislikes it has. So this is the first video ever to get over 10 million dislikes. It got it in just over 8 days. And actually, they do have a dislike percentage. So 82% of the reactions to the video were dislikes. So a lot of people didn't like it, safe to say. And despite them calling it Everyone Controls Rewind, that was the whole goal, was like, you could tell that the whole point was, we want to see what you guys want and we're going to do it. So I at least appreciate that in a sense. I respect that that was what they were going for, but it kind of fell flat on its face. In fact, Justin Bieber's Baby, which has been out since 2010, held that title of #1 most disliked for years, and people were actually going and undisliking the Baby video just to get YouTube Rewind 2018 up to #1. But I think it's important to realize, like, what exactly went wrong here? How did they screw up? Well, for one, I think a lot of people are kind of mad. This is just a small part of it, but I think a lot of people are mad that PewDiePie wasn't in it. And it's one of those, like, whether they're a fan of him or not, the fact that he was the #1 YouTuber and they said nothing. Like, he was the #1 YouTuber and they didn't put him in it. They didn't even ask him. And they didn't do this last year either. That, I think, has part to do with it. Obviously, that's kind of their way of saying they want to distance themselves from it, because it's supposed to be all the big YouTubers. But that, I think, part of it isn't so much their fault, in that there are just so many people on YouTube now that, like, it's kind of hard to get all the big creators. Back in 2012, I recognized most of them because there were, like, 30, 40 big-name YouTubers, and that was pretty much it. And they could put them all in one video. And that was it. In fact, that 2012 was back before, like, PewDiePie wasn't even in the 2012 one, because he wasn't even a thing then. Like, he wasn't even that very well known. But now it's at the point where I think if you wanted to get all the big-name YouTubers and all the big communities, you would need, like, it would need to be like an hour-long video with hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people, and everyone would have to get a 2-second, like, clip here and there. I see that, like, it's pretty much impossible to get all the big-name people, which is why they should focus on the year in review. And there were people complaining about Will Smith being in it because, oh, he's a celebrity and he's not a YouTuber, he's a celebrity. And I can kind of understand that, but that I forgive. The Will Smith thing in particular, I forgive, because even though he is a celebrity and is not known for YouTube, he did a big thing on YouTube that year. Like, that was a thing that was supposed to be a relatively big thing on YouTube. He started his own channel, and he did some kind of, like, skydiving thing with other YouTubers. So that's why they put him in, because that was a big thing. So that I understand. But they put in Trevor Noah, Stephen Colbert. That people had criticisms over, because it's like, why are they in it? Like, you're making a YouTube video about the YouTube community. Why are they part of this? Like, they have nothing. And they did that the last few years too. They put, like, big name celebrities in that were not part of YouTube, and it's like, why are you doing this? Why make a tribute to the YouTube community and put, like, big name celebrities that have nothing to do with YouTube on it? That was obvious, like, deserved criticism there. But really, there were a lot of things that they just kind of didn't even address. There were some neat things, like I saw they addressed some smaller communities, or some communities that are pretty big on YouTube, but are overall kind of pretty much nothing. Like, the average person has never heard of them. Like, I think they did a tribute to the ASMR community, which, from what I'm told, is, like, a huge thing on YouTube. They did some tribute to, like, the K-pop stuff, which I've never listened to K-pop, but I'm guessing it's a brand of music that's more popular in East Asia. I think Japan. It might be Korea. Don't crucify me for that. But it's I actually even heard that people were that community was mad at them because they said K-pop, but they didn't address, like, they didn't do it right, was what I told. They didn't address the community in the right way. Then they threw some dumb politics into it, which, of course, some people might say, like, what do you mean politics? They said things that everyone can get behind. But, of course, it's worded in a way that, oh, everyone can get behind. But you know what they're saying. They threw lots of, like, political stuff into it, which, again, like, politics is... There's such a vibrant political community on YouTube, so it's a bit strange that, like, you can't really address politics in YouTube without alienating a large part of the YouTube community, the political community, because, again, there's all kinds of big name YouTubers on both the left and the right, center, and pretty much everyone. But overall, it seemed very corporate, I guess you could say. Like, it seemed evident that it was more someone was doing research than someone was actually a fan of what happened on YouTube. So, like, it didn't seem like it was written by people that enjoyed YouTube. I don't know exactly what they did to put this together, but it would have been nice, actually, to see if they could have gotten maybe this is exactly what they did, but it would have been nice to see if they could have gotten a bunch of people, a bunch of, like, big-name YouTubers and said, okay, like, tell us what we should put in this video. They should have gotten they should have polled, like, maybe 1,000, send out an email to about 1,000 YouTubers. Maybe a survey link and say, like, hey, name some big moments on YouTube, name some big YouTube communities, and tell us, like, what people want, like, what people want, what people watch. Maybe send them to, like, the Phil DeFranco channels, where the people that do news on YouTube, that they would know that kind of stuff. So it just seems weird that it felt oddly disconnected. And again, this is the worst one yet. It has been continually going down. I don't want to spend too much time scrolling down looking for it, but actually there it is right there. Good. Number 14, YouTube Rewind 2017 with 2.2 million dislikes. So this is not the first time they have made the major dislikes video. Major dislikes list. It just so happens that this one was the #1 video. But yeah, it's terrible. Like, it's gone bad. It's gone really bad. There was actually, I think it was The Verge did an article that, I mean, I'm not a big fan of The Verge after their numerous blunders of not even knowing how to build a computer and slandering people. But they did actually get a message from a YouTube representative. Here it is. A YouTube representative issued the following statement to The Verge, saying that dethroning baby and dislikes wasn't exactly our goal. Honest feedback can suck, but we are listening and we appreciate how much people care, the representative said. Trying to capture the magic of YouTube in one single video is like trying to capture lightning in a bottle. We also learned that creating content can be really hard, and this underscores our respect and admiration for YouTube creators doing it every day. Keep the feedback coming, and maybe we'll release a top 10 list of rewind dislike reaction videos. Yeah, that's pretty much it. It would have been better. I'm not going to take credit for this, obviously, because I saw this on, I think it was PewDiePie's channel, actually. I saw him when he addressed it. He said it would have been better if they just addressed the year. Like, did a year in review. Like, that's literally what the title of the video is. That's what they're trying to do, a year in review. But he made a valid point that it seems that they're doing is more of, like, the whole history of YouTube in review. Like, they put on YouTubers that haven't been popular in years. Like, they put on YouTubers that, like, they have big channels, of course, but there's not much to them. So, like there's not much relevant to this year. They just kept putting out videos and doing stuff like they always do. Which, again, I'm not putting them down for that, but it would make things a lot easier if instead of picking from the hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of channels with millions of subscribers. That would be better if they just said, okay, like, who are the YouTubers that became big this year? Who was in the spotlight this year? And then make a video with those people. Then you could actually limit that down to 20, 30 people, I believe. But, yeah, it was just a big blunder. And it could have been so much better, because they did good. Like, it's not that YouTube Rewind is bad. It's that these last few years have been really bad. And it's all down to figuring out, why is that? Is it politics? Is it they're afraid to touch any controversy? Is it that there's so many YouTubers that they can't satisfy everyone? And that is true. Like, they can't satisfy everyone. So it's kind of like, why try? In that point, if you're going to try to satisfy everyone, you're just doomed for failure, because all kinds of people are going to be like, why wasn't I in Rewind? It just seemed like they weren't really aware of what was happening. It's almost as if the people at YouTube didn't watch YouTube. It does, or like, is not a fan of a lot of the YouTubers, which is a real shame. But yeah, there's a lot of good things they could have done from this. Like, for next year, if you want to do things better, poll people, like poll the top 1,000 YouTubers, especially the people that do news, and ask them, like, what is the big thing here? Like, what is something big? And it's odd because YouTube even has search trends. Like, YouTube is owned by Google. Google is a master at trends in that and analyzing what people search for. You think if anyone has the tools to see what people want, it would be them. So why not do that? Like, why? It just seems strange that they didn't seem to pinpoint, like, kind of the public opinion, like what people wanted, despite them having all these resources at their disposal. But anyway, let me know what you think in the comment section. Maybe you did like the video. I will admit I am one of those dislikes, and I rarely dislike videos. I've disliked maybe 5 videos in all of YouTube, because I just never hit the dislike button. Usually I only hit the dislike button if it's clickbait or unbelievably bad. But yeah, this was one of those. But yeah, let me know what you think in the comment section. If you liked the video, if you liked the YouTube Rewind video, tell me why. If you disliked it, tell me why. Like, was my analysis correct? Did I understand why people disliked it? But that seems to be, like, as someone that really liked the early ones, the 2012, 2013, 2014, it just seems that they could have done a lot better, and they didn't. Yeah, so yeah, let me know what you think in the comments. Like the video if you enjoyed, subscribe for more, and thanks for watching.